Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VC Jedi Archives comic review. I'm
I'm John.
Mike,
I'm Bryce.
and today we're starting off with
Issue 3 of the High Republic.
Yes, by
Yeah.
Kevin Scott.
Here we go, and we're on our favorite website, League of Comic Book Geeks or League of Comic Geeks. And here's the cover. This is the original cover of issue 3. So,
Oh, I didn't even notice he's carrying the elephant child from the book. I thought he was carrying like a sack or something.
that's what I thought too at first. And also that monster in the back is that villain. Mhm.
Wow. So yeah, I didn't catch any of that when I first saw the comic. Then we went through the book, I read it, and then now I'm like, oh, okay, those things make more sense now.
I love these colors, and then that green at the bottom reminds me of the storm. You know how they drop the gas,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
reminiscent of Marchion Row and
The war
storm.
cloud.
Yep. So I like this cover. I love the colors. It's vibrant. So I like these bright colors. Here's the variant cover. Quite a few variants. This is a nice
That one looks familiar.
That one's cool.
It's got our 3 main characters, our Jedi Master, our Padawan, and
Tay.
spoiler alert, and Tesseract. This cover with Maddie. That's a really nice cover.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
She looks a little bit older for oh well, she did say she's a bit old for being a Padawan, right? She's in no rush.
Yeah.
That's why I thought she was already a master. And here's this cover with Tay. Nice. It looks like he's shooting while he's falling, or he's jumping and shooting, right?
Yeah.
Jumping down.
A crossbow too, pretty cool crossbow blaster.
Oh
Bow
yeah,
blaster.
that
Yeah,
is cool.
it almost looks like the moon sitting in the back there, or a moon.
The 2 moons. It's the 2 moons. Yeah.
Yeah, this scene is definitely like a Dungeons and Dragons types image. Like, you got the creepy woods and the moons. He's got a crossbow.
Nice. I like it. The detail's really cool. And then we've got the Virgin cover of that image. Oh, there's 3 moons, or there's a planet in the moons, because that looks like Jupiter, right? Way in the back.
It does a little bit. It almost looks like it could be like, it looks like the moon, and then it looks like Jupiter, and then I would guess Mars would be.
I'm thinking it's like Jupiter has all those moons going around it, so it's like its own little solar system. So it must be like the main planet, and like Endor. You know, the planet moon of Endor. That's one of the moons. So Endor's the big gas giant, and then they have all the moons around it, planet moons. Pretty cool. All right, so going to the original cover, which is
Should be your bottom one.
this one. This is the original cover, and Balance of the Force, Chapter 3, Tesseract, Guardian no more. Vildar and Maddie are at the mercy of the Guardians of the Wills. The truth about Tesseract is revealed, and terror is about to strike at the Temple of Kyber. Dun, dun, dun. So this issue, it was pretty good because it gives us the backstory. I like the backstory about Tesseract, finding out more about him.
Yeah, well, the first, all you think is a thief. The first 2 issues, you don't think anything about him. And this definitely gives you what he does and way more about him than anyone else in this issue.
Yeah, this is a good, solid origin issue for him.
Yeah, I like seeing a lot of familiar aliens.
Yeah. Definitely that gives me the vibes of the, like we said,
Star Wars.
the Legends, aliens.
Oh yeah. And I like seeing them use the Force abilities. Here's that little elephant kid.
So yeah, now we're having we find out he was a guardian of the will, and we're finding out his backstory of him used to being a guardian and what happened.
Only 5 years ago too, so not too long ago.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't.
Fairly recent. But he got outsmarted by thug kids.
Yeah, a little ring of crime by pickpocketing kids.
Yeah.
I have
Oh.
to know what space elephant species is, though.
It says in here, it comes up. So they also, after the last issue, they had gone into the temple because some Kybers they've been stealing the Kyber from the temple, and they're like, well, how do you know? And he goes, oh, this one sounds like this colossal bird or something. And Tay was going to take them to where it was, and it makes sense now that he knows where everything is because he was a former guardian, so he knows where everything is in that temple. And then they, of course, when the other guardians see him, they're not too happy to see him because he's they call him a reprobate or a flunky. So then the Jedi Master and Padawan say, hey, he said this bird got stolen. They're like, no, not possible. I'll show you where it is. And they get there, and lo and behold, it's gone.
No.
He was right. It was stolen. So we get a little backstory about this little elephant kid. He's like a little con man kid. Remind me of all the kids on Corellia working for the Worm Queen.
Yeah. I can see little Han Solo next to him. Little attitude, maybe that's Han Solo, the kid who kicked him in the back.
It reminded me of him for sure. So this little kid's
And then you see their boss right there.
Did I
What was
pass
his
it?
name? Boss?
Wazo.
Wazo.
Wazo, yeah. And then they go to find them the next day, and they've been all beat up.
Yeah, and Tarek's upset because they knew of this. The other Guardians knew of it, but he's talking to, I guess, his master Guardian right there, and he says it's not our problem. It has nothing to do with
The temple.
of the Wills.
We just guard the Kyber.
Yeah.
That's our job.
Yeah.
Guard the Guardians of the
Maybe
Kyber.
as a security guard and something that happens outside their building, like it doesn't have to do with us.
Mhm.
Yep.
So Tay's upset. So he's like, because he obviously thinks it's more, as a lot of people think, the Wills is a religion. So he's like, we should be helping everyone around us. So he's definitely upset about the situation.
Yeah.
Felt like this could have been prevented.
And
Then
here's
he
the leader guy. Yeah.
Down Wazo, the Great Oz, whatever his name was.
The Wazoo.
Wazoo.
Yeah. At this point, he's got a lot of heat on him, and he's trying to get out.
Yeah. Because I guess they double crossed the spice
They did.
dealers or something.
Yeah, like some other crime syndicate.
A syndicate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he cracks his little glass bowl. All his water leaks out. He's like, I can't breathe. Whoops. Too late. He's dead.
Murderer.
So now it comes back to the present time. He goes back into the temple and he finds this hidden bomb that was in the temple.
Yeah, he's not even like does it say why he goes back to the temple? Does he just go there to check it out? Or is he trying to steal the Kyber bird?
No, the Kyber bird's been stolen. Yeah.
But why
I think he regretted walking out at the beginning. That's why he's like, I'm not sulking. I don't need to sulk.
Right.
Like, I feel like he's trying to right a wrong.
Redeem himself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he's just not. I guess how do you say? Not willing to walk away, but doesn't want to walk back through the front door.
Yeah.
So that's when the droid suggests, well, why don't we go through a window?
And so then
bad. He goes into the window. They walk in, he's holding a bomb, but it's not, he found it right there. So it just looks bad. So
Yeah, bad karma.
yeah, he's like,
I'm
wait a minute,
sure
what the
the
criff
next-
is this?
I'm sure the beginning of the next episode is they're gonna think he's doing it and detain him, maybe. We'll see.
So this explosion happens outside the window? Is that what he does? He force pushes it out,
Yeah.
so the temple's unharmed.
I don't know if it's unharmed. I'm sure that it took some damage.
But at least there were no deaths.
That we know of. That could
Well, I
be a
don't-
whole
Yeah, I
room
don't
blowing
think
up.
so.
I don't
think
see any bodies here, so
Well, those
Yeah.
are pieces.
So in the next issue, this is
Oh no, that is one of the guys from Path of the Hidden Hand.
it is.
Not
He's the one that cut off his little Lekus. He's like the right hand person to the mother.
Yes. He's yes. Oh man, what is his name?
Yes. So he's the pastor, or what is he?
They call him like the guardian, or
he actually has a
title.
He actually has a title.
And his daughter was the one that got killed, and he didn't even care. Remember?
he cares, but he's holding it in all his, I think, everything, as he wants to do a almost like surprise takeover of their religion, because the mother's got too strong. If you read the book,
Right.
so he's because I remember the girl's like, she killed your daughter, or you're not mad. He's just like,
yeah,
we'll deal with it later when she doesn't know. The revenge dish best served cold.
right. Was his daughter the one that was force sensitive, or the one that survived?
His daughter
was, right? Yeah.
What do they call him? The Guardian, the Chancellor, has a title like that.
But he was like the one that the mother consulted, for sure. So
Well, almost like they're each the head. There was no true leader. Like she was kind of like the de facto leader, but like he was like the leader. Then they had elders that were like the leader. So
I think the girl behind him is Marta Rowe.
Or Marta Rowe's cousin that was in love with his daughter.
Yeah, that could be true too.
Oh, right, because she was one of the children that was going out and stealing stuff. Yes. Because Marta Rowe doesn't know about that. It could be her cousin.
She went out on those missions or ventures or whatever they called them
that only the children could do. So
that's what they call them. I'll have to look it up later.
So that concludes this episode.
So yeah, this episode this comic issue is mainly we're just gonna tell us backstory of Tay and introduce what's gonna happen to him next. But it was good. So you don't just think he's a 2-bit criminal. He's got morals. He was a guardian of the will. He had something he believed in, but then they kind of let him down. So
right.
A little Ahsoka-ish.
Almost, yeah, I was gonna say that. Almost like Ahsoka leaving the Jedi
Herald.
Order.
That's his title.
The Herald. Yes, he was the Herald.
Yeah, he's
God. It drives me
right there.
Thanks, Bryce.
It was gonna bother me if I didn't find it. I knew it started with an H.
I know. I was kept saying Guardian, or I was thinking of what is the Silver Surfer, and it is a Herald. I just could not remember what Silver Surfer was.
Oh yeah,
Herald of
Galactus.
So we're ready for our holocron ratings, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, for me it's 4 out of 5. It was a good story. For me, the twist of him being a guardian wasn't surprising to me, considering his overall knowledge, and the fact that we got some backstory to it was great. But for me, it was 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan?
We'll do 3.5. I don't want to always give things great ratings because I need to. Everything's just going to be 4 or 5, so I got to find a way to bring stuff in. It was really just a really quick backstory on him. It was good. Like, maybe drawn out a little bit more. Nothing really happened in our actual story.
Yeah.
Nothing really progressed except he found a bomb and went off. That's all that really happened. That issue on, I guess, the actual timeline. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Still good though. I definitely take way higher of him now though. I didn't say, like I said, not just some criminal.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it a 4.4 holocrons out of 5. Because I do like all the artwork. I like the story. It flows really quickly. It's a fast read. It was engaging in every spot. And I did like that twist. I knew that explains why he was able to fight them in the other earlier issues. He had that training. And even though he's not a Jedi, he was related in some way to the Force as a guardian of the will. So I like it. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. I think it's a good series.
One thing it does for me, it teaches me more about the Guardians of the Wills because I haven't read too much other stuff about them. To me, it wasn't really literally guardians. It was more, that was the name of the religion. And now I found out they're more like soldiers or guards. So they're actually trained. You see that one, I think there's like 2 panels where they're training, like in a room.
Right.
And so there's actually more to it. And I honestly just thought they were just, it's the name of the religion. They just call themselves guardians. They weren't really soldiers or anything, but it definitely gives us more into it now. So.
And they're guarding the Kyber. So it's very specific to the Kyber. Not necessarily the Force, but they're protecting the Kyber, which there's some deep connection between the Kyber and the Force. That
And a lot of the
we'll find out more.
Yeah, a lot of the artifacts are extremely Force bound, and that's why the path of the open hand is after them. They feel that the Force should be for everyone and not just
not used
Jedi or.
So here's a quick thing: is that why the mother didn't want to go to Jedi yet? Because they're on Jedi, right?
That's on Jedi.
So because she knew that if they were there, it would look too suspicious. Remember, the mother didn't want to go to Jedi.
Right.
She's like, that's one of our big targets. That's like a treasure trove for us. But I was thinking it might be too suspicious for them because it was odd that she didn't want to go to Jedi yet. She's like, not yet. So.
Well, I think she doesn't want to go yet until they've stolen enough of the artifacts, because they've been stealing them. Because that they're trying to steal those artifacts from there.
Yeah, but I mean,
Definitely.
everyone, not just Jedi.
Yeah.
I think Jedi's kind of
But
like a treasure trove.
But in one of the other issues, was it in 1 or in 2, where we hear there's like a preacher talking about the path of the open hand as they're going through when he first gets to Jeddah, Vildar Mac. It was issue 1. Remember that? He's walking through the town when he first meets Tay Sarek.
I don't know.
And we hear it's like a little side commenting about how there's a path to the open hand. Let me see if I can do it. But it was one of the preachers talking about it. So I think they asked Maddie something. Oh, here it is. Remember this? They're walking through the town, and then this person speaking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's speaking in front of like a temple or something.
Right, but it's the talk about the path.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how things should be liberated, and I remember now.
Right, and then it had this one that looked like Tarek, looked like them, right? The little ghost. It was like a future vision, I thought.
Yeah. Cool.
So, all right. So good issue, guys. Good episode. Don't forget to join us every other week for our VC Jedi Archives review, and visit our Facebook group.
Yes. Thank you.
And what else, Bryce?
Yeah, well, I've got our partner pages, Star Wars Book Nerds, Star Wars Comic Book Club. If you're not a member, please join. Be happy to have you.
All right.
And may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with
The
you.
Force be with you.
Bye, all.